So we know Gretchen Carlson is suing Roger Ailes for sexual harassment. 6 more women have come out of the woodwork, and this is shocking absolutely no one, right? Very easy to imagine Roger Ailes doing and saying all these things. And so Gretchen Carlson is... But guess what? And you wonder, like, why did she wait so long? Why don't other women? Why did it take her and now the other 6 women come out? Why don't women just say things right away when they happen? Why don't they just go against really powerful guys who can help pull the strings on their career? Why don't they just do that immediately? That's kind of what you're saying. And one of the reasons why women are kind of hesitant to speak up when it comes to sexual harassment is because there'll be other powerful white guys that will discredit them in their own organization. What are you talking about? Well, here's Neil Cavuto. Neil Cavuto, I don't know if you know, he works for Fox Business. It's a business channel that nobody in business actually watches. It's a key thing. If you're in business, you don't watch Fox Business for business news. I don't know why you would watch them. Nobody, believe me. These are, the guys who didn't see the economic catastrophe coming until almost after it happened. Neil Cavuto, the character of Roger Ailes, he wrote this, right? And this is in the Business Insider. In the Business Insider. He says, in a way, my health challenges have been liberating. So he had a heart attack, and he's got, I think he's MS maybe. He's got a couple things wrong with him.
I think he's in remission right now with cancer.
With cancer?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, my health challenges have been liberating. They allow me to speak my mind because I, frankly, have bigger personal worries. They free me to get past the clutter and nonsense. Oh, so he's a straight shooter because he's sick. Right? That's what he's saying. He's a straight shooter. Let me just say that Neil Cavuto's illness certainly does not make him a better judge of character. Okay? Let's just keep that in mind. So he says, and all this stuff I've been reading about Roger Ailes is a lot of clutter and a lot of nonsense. So he's saying Megyn Kelly's, a liar. That's what he's saying. It's all made up. None of it remotely matches the man I've come to know over these last decades. Really? This is more proof that Neil Cavuto is a great investigative reporter. He can't see what's happening right under his own nose at his own news organization. If Neil Cavuto had, blonde hair and tits, maybe he would think a little differently about how things work at Fox News. You ever think about that? Anybody?
Something tells me he's got tits. I think that's a safe bet.
Roger Ailes, his little love letter, Neil Cavuto's little love letter to Roger Ailes kind of makes me feel violated, too.
Is this it? This is the entire thing?
He's got more. I'm going to read.
Okay.
He says, in individual meetings, those with staff members and groups large and small at Fox, CNBC, women and men, top executive producers to production assistants, all stripes, all colors, all personalities, Roger was and is all professional. He wants us to have fun. And he can be funny, but in ways that matter. Not demeaning nonsense that does not, says Cavuto.
So wait, the nonsense has become demeaning. She's demeaning them with her
think so.
Claims?
Roger isn't about nonsense in meetings, he says. Yeah, he saves that for the Fox broadcasts. This is all, here we go. He's got more to say. Don't get me wrong. He can be a huge pain in the arse, because I guess saying ass is...
It's more droll if it's arse. That's that's playful.
Pain in the arse. He's relentlessly demanding and doesn't exactly suffer fools gladly, but he is a fair and balanced taskmaster.
Oh, well, he can't be guilty then.
He can't be one who doesn't put up with excuses from anyone, from anchors to interns.
Sounds like he inspires people to give them their best.
He's fair and balanced. He puts it in his own defense. He puts that bullshit term fair and balanced just to let you know everything he's saying is complete dreck, complete BS. I'm going to use, it's fair and balanced. He demands excellence when, frankly, on some Friday afternoons, some of us would prefer focusing on excellent weekends. He demands excellence at Fox News. Fox News, which has been scientifically proven to make you dumber the more you watch. This is the excellence? What do you mean excellence? Like that the news anchor's skirts are up high enough and their hair is brushed correctly, or that their male hosts are race baiting properly? When you say excellence, what are you talking about? You're not talking about delivering news. You're talking about propaganda, right? And maybe propping up a war or a racist or a maniac.
Or simplistic arguments that stupid people can understand, like what he wrote.
Or
like
maybe his commitment to excellence also includes the excellent commitment to anti-science. You ever think about his news organization's commitment to denying science excellently? Neil Cavuto, is there a bigger dump in the world than Neil Cavuto? Okay. It's good to know that Roger Ailes is such a professional at his job of creating bogus right-wing narratives that poison the news cycle. He's really good at it. Way to go. He's such a professional. And individual meetings, here we go. He reminds each of us all, never settle, never mail it in, never assume today's success is tomorrow's guarantee. He sounds like Newt Rockney. He sounds like a Chris Roger Ailes, huh? For a guy who leads a sedentary lifestyle, he's really getting a lot done, this Roger Ailes. It's not so much that he made us fear for our jobs, as much as appreciate those jobs and the responsibility that comes with the responsibility at Fox News. The responsibility to say whatever Rupert Murdoch wants me to say. You know, that kind of responsibility when I deny science, claim that black people are racist, cops are great. We bring Mark Furman on. Oh, boy. He's got more. He says he is stern but fair. He is tough but kind. He is disciplined but discerning. He leads by example, and his meetings, those large and small of which I've been a part of over these years, are dominated by issues that matter. Not once by issues that have suddenly come up out of the blue in the press. What? So at your meetings about news, nothing ever comes up out of the blue from the press? You know, you work for a press organization. You're all about stuff that comes up in the press. That's nonsensical, right?
It's completely nonsensical.
Okay.
He's trying to say that her thing came out of nowhere. This is just a lone wolf victim of sexual who's making it all up. But he's saying what? That he never brought it up at the Monday morning, meeting. Like, of course not. What?
I never saw him touch her ass.
You never arrested me. I never saw him
at the meetings.
Yeah. It's so weird.
I like never
Not once.
Never assume today's success is tomorrow's guarantee, which is also what Roger Ailes said to female employees when he wanted to further their careers. If you get my meaning. Wow, this is like a real love letter to Roger Ailes.
Well, I don't think Cavuto wrote it. I say Roger Ailes wrote it.
It sounds like it. I like how he goes in individual meetings, those with staff members. Roger was and is all professional. Yeah. Roger talks about staff meetings so much, but what about Roger's back office? What happened to the back office? So he's got a little bit more to say. I've never seen it. I've never witnessed it. No, not even hints of it. Wow, is he
what would a hint be?
Is he a bad news guy?
What would a hint be?
Are you kidding me? You guys, they give news shows to felons at Fox News, right? Oliver North. Let's give him a news show. Did he lie to Congress? Yeah, give him a news show. Right?
Yeah.
Did he violate the Bolin Amendment? Yeah, but give him a news show. Did he trade arms for hostages and lie about it? Yeah, give him a news show.
There's a conformity in their thinking, though, that's selected for it. And he probably wrote this himself, but people are selected or they're meted out those who don't use their unified voice of the right-wing propaganda. So they all wrote it. It's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah. Ugh.
Dominated by issues that matter, not once by issues that suddenly come up out of the blue in the press. You do it. He doesn't really understand that he works in the press. It's just so weird. And that the Rupert Murdoch empire is 1/4 of the entire press in the entire world. He doesn't have time for it. This is what he says. I've never witnessed it. I've never even hints of it. Meetings with Roger aren't about nonsense. He doesn't have time for it. He doesn't have at Fox News, they don't have time for nonsense. No, you know what they do have? He's in doing the important work of, engineering a war on Christmas. And making sure gay marriage doesn't happen. What? He doesn't have time for nonsense. He doesn't have time for nonsense.
Sexual harassment takes a lot of time.
He does have time. He does have time to stoke racial hatred, though.
Sure.
He does have time for a war on Christmas and stoking racial hatred. He does have that time.
It's about the little things.
But that's not nonsense. That's the hard work of right-wing journalism. Right?
He's got time to select dresses for the girls and make them all wear this exact same flesh-colored shoes.
Yes, he doesn't have time for. Look, he doesn't have time for it, and God knows he wouldn't countenance male or female staffers allowing it. This is a guy who calls down to the set. Hey, tell her to get her skirt up. I can't see the get a glass table. I can't see her legs. These are all. Go ahead.
He doesn't have time to listen to his own shows. He doesn't because he famously watches all Fox News without the sound on, right?
I've heard that. Now, that is a rumor. I don't know if that's been confirmed. Maybe
I've heard
it has
it repeated
been confirmed.
many times, and it passes the bullshit test.
I'll do a Fox News here. I'll pass along a little rumor as fact.
Sure. I watch it without sound.
That's just not the Roger I know or any of my staff members know. It's his demand for keeping focused on the things that matter that have typified these exchanges. Things that matter. War on Christmas, racial hatred. It's why we are still here. Some staff members nearly as long as me. He brought us here. He's the reason we stay here. God damn, this guy's gross, this Neil Cavuto. Here's the end. Smart people don't stick around for nonsense. They stick around for the professional challenges that make sense. You work at Fox News. They hired Howard Kurtz as a media critic after he got fired for lying. Because he filed too many, he hosted a show. The show was called Reliable Sources, and CNN asked him to leave their network because he filed too many stories that were unreliable. Fox News goes, come on over here. Some smart people, they respect Roger. Trust me, any of these folks could go anywhere else, but they stay for Roger. That's the Roger they know. That's the only Roger they know. I suspect over the years, such groups have grown to include hundreds of people, maybe more. Taken from a guy with an illness, these accusations that don't remotely resemble the Roger that I know, that we know, are just sick. Yeah, Gretchen Carlson, she's sick. Those other women, 6 other women, they're also sick. I don't know. I didn't expect anything else from Neil Cavuto. The guy, what?
What does he say? Take it from a guy with an illness. I can tell someone's sick when I see him. Yeah. What does that? It gives you special powers.
This is the guy. He's talking like he's talking about Fox News like it's the BBC.
Yeah, and it's written with like the quality of like a timeshare pamphlet.
Yeah,
or some sort of crappy Tony Robbins inspirational conference or something. It's awful. It's brutal.
And I can't stand it when somebody says, "I'm telling you the truth." Mm-hmm. It's the truth.
It's the truth.
Oh, what authentic conversation do you have with somebody that they have to say, "It's the truth"? That you don't all of a sudden realize, I think somebody's lying to me.
Anybody tells you they're a straight shooter's usually full of it.
That's some straight shooting.
That's some straight shooting.